just at the moment, winning all these crucial engagements, and perhaps more concerning here as the Purify comes out for 15 seconds of scrap time is that Gallerus have actually got control of the rotation towards Nu because Luminosity kept on pushing for that scrap.
Yeah, LG fumbled this one just a little bit, and Gallerus could add to that pain. Look at that kill feed just looking yellow. If you're a Brazilian PUBG Mobile fan, you are loving what you're seeing right now. That kill feed just looking so dominant. From the Gallerus side, Shanelli finds 3. You've got the rotation, you've got yourself a 40-point lead. You take those starts all day long. We said the slow starts from Gallerus were hurting them in hardpoint. They may have fixed that issue.
Now here comes the operators from Gallerus. Again, you said slow starts were the problem for Gallerus. This has definitely not been that. And they know they want to continue that momentum forward as well. LG, I think if you're them, you need to start bringing out your operators right about now. Kings is going to do so with the War Machine. Can he actually find any value from it? He is. A couple of kills. Is that good enough for Luminosity to get in? There's the kills to follow up. Just one more player to deal with. It's going to be the equalizers inside. Kills coming through from Fokke, but Jez is going to have to use the claw to remove that player from it. And just like that, LG in for the back 30 seconds.
Big investment coming in to get a hold of that 30 seconds. That is truly, truly needed. Stuck inside now with the Sparrow, and now is the setup going to be here from Gallerus? Are they going to fight over this? They're sending 3 towards the old hard point, but sending 2 towards Nu as well. Get themselves set up, happy to give that one over. Nice break from Luminosity, who have finally arrived here onto standoff. Transitional kill starting to go Gallerus' way, but I think they'll still take it. You know, that P2 hold was so good from them. The P3 not necessarily great, but 30-point lead heading into the full tilt. You take those all day long.
Yeah, this is comfortable for Gallerus at the moment. And you can hold this one as well. You've got all the players in the right positions. Mihawk far removed from this hill. Pabzera keeping an eye on that tractor side. Good shots from him. Mihawk still hasn't activated. Finally, though, he's going to get shut down. Spawn's still good for Lucas in here. So Gallerus still in control of this hard point. Luminosity haven't really had a look just yet, but as those 3 kills come through, this should be it.
Spawn out here for Gallerus as well. Luminosity look for the break. You need Hen to go massive. He doesn't find anything but one. Last player remaining, Pabzera. He will fall. A lovely break coming in from Luminosity. Kings to find a couple more as well. Forces them away. That's the first really solid break. That's going to come quite early here for Luminosity as well. Gallerus managed to pick up about 10-15 seconds there, though, so not the end of the world for them. If Luminosity get the remaining time, they will have a lead heading into the next rotation. That's more like it from Luminosity over the last 2 hills.
Yeah, I think Luminosity are actually the ones for a relatively slow start here, as you said. I mean, they've picked things up over the last couple of hard points, and I want to say a big reason why. You never want to count out an individual player, right? You single them out for having a bad performance, but it's more of a positive than anything. Cartel's currently only on 7 kills, and he is a player that in these playoff situations, he always steps up. He's done it before. Of course, he did it for Seminole, actually all the way back at Mobile Masters. So he's a player that when he steps things up for a roster like Luminosity, I think the whole roster will step it up a notch. S-Thug picks up 3 in the middle of the map. LG, now a good look here at P1 time.
45 seconds remaining on this, and Gallerus sends it back with 3 kills of their own. Comes cruise missile that was available as well. That will be dropped in. Cartels will be dealt with, and all of a sudden P1 belongs to Gallerus. 35 seconds to go. He will find a couple of kills here. Thinking about the rotation over towards P2. Kings ain't thinking about that. War Machine is in. Finds one with it. Pabzera finds 4 of his own, but answering back a Luminosity into the hill. 20 seconds to go. Rotation's going to be important. Gallerus are on the right side of the map, but Luminosity Gaming have the numbers. Yeah, I don't want to see Gallerus go heavy into this one. I know those spawns are quite sticky, so you can kind of afford to do so, but still, don't over-invest. And this is exactly why spawn outs now start coming through for Gallerus here. So Luminosity, if they don't try to push through P1, there is an opportunity to break those spawns in towards all, but they have chosen to do so. P1 is the choice for Luminosity. They are hungry for that back 10 seconds, and they will get it. So now just 22 points, the difference between these 2 teams. Gallerus now going to bring out the operators to hold on towards this next hill. Holding quite early here, especially from Lukashin, but Henry Cow will get the job done yet with this Sparrow. Luminosity find themselves behind here. Gallerus in control of the point. Luminosity, the communication has to be on point. Let's go for a listening. Well, LG.
I'm about to use my equals now.
Seeker. Granny Bro is weak. Granny Bro weak. One remain.
Panali. Seeker, War Machine. Main push through. He's going close up gas. Yeah, dead. I smoked across.
I'm nading.
I need trophies main.
Mark it, box.
Go gas.
One market, bro.
One gas on.
Market rotating boxes. They're already rotating also, guys.
Yeah.
Alright, go new.
I'm gonna smoke you up. Just.
One shot.
No. We go new. It's all good. Lock in, we got
Yo,
this.
there's a guy new already. There's a guy new.
And new?
He's somewhere new. He rotated
I'm
early.
looking at blue.
Courtyard to top blue. Deli.
Ali now. Lucas to the right.
Lucas. Two. Yo, bottom blue.
One more.
One more.
And Gallerus continue their reign of terror over towards P2, but Luminosity, they were slow on the rotation last time around. They need to be good again, but Raph needs to find a way through for the rest of his team to get themselves there. PUBG will find 2, making it 4 in total in this life. Gallerus trying to find a breakthrough.
0-5 cartels. Oh, not enough value out of that whatsoever. Only 1 kill to his name. Close spawns for LG is going to keep themselves in the conversation for this hard point. Jez now, investment of the claw. You're just going to have to pre-fire this thing down range to make sure all these players get taken down. And it works out. A couple of kills here for Jez. LG, now a moment to breathe. Gallerus now going to have to individually hit this one. Jez is getting all of these gunfights, but Pantera able to climb through the window for free. Finds a double. Fokke, can he get another kill? No, as Kings will double up by himself. LG fighting tooth and nail for this time.
Now Gallerus get a bit scrappy over towards that hill. Mihawk still trying to have a little bit of a look here, but Luminosity will be the beneficiary of P3. Pick up a decent chunk of time, but Gallerus limited them to a little less than they would have liked. 5 seconds remaining on that hill. LG will get a hold of every single one of those. Now the setup for Gallerus. They can dig themselves deep. The trenches are very much dug. And now for LG, which is the way that you've got to try and find a way through. Mihawk can shut down one on the backside. Amzera is here, ready and waiting, but Esto has actually managed to slip the net here. He's going to be able to push on through, not quite. Eventually does get taken down. But all of this pressure coming through from this backside, is it unrelenting enough to get themselves inside the hill?
Yeah, actually, Esto did stay alive for long enough to influence the spawn, so LG now close spawns, but Gallerus going to bring their operators out. It's Henry Cat for a couple of kills now, and Kings on the other side needs to get something with this War Machine for an early break. You can't afford to give Gallerus this time. Henry Cat's on the hunt. Raph will take him down. And ultimately, Gallerus are still through, and they've still got 3 operators ready to go. And on the other side, LG have absolutely nothing.
LG's opportunity may well have just passed by. They find the kills, Gallerus, that they need to. They just about hold on. Gallerus now in the ascendancy, 15 seconds to go on this hill. They are only around 20 seconds away. Investigate from Fokke. If you're going to find the equalizers, you don't find much from it. Cartels has got to come through and got to find the kills, and he finds 3. It doesn't get them a whole lot, but at the same time, it keeps Gallerus that little bit further away than they were likely going to be heading into this 3rd rotation. Gallerus find themselves around 15 seconds away. Luminosity far, far behind right now.
Yeah, that was a bit of an intriguing investment coming through from Gallerus. I know it said that they had 3 operators. I didn't say they had to use them because they couldn't win regardless on that hard point. And now going into the next set here, granted you're kind of making your operator cycle go forward a little bit faster, but still now you've only got 1. So you have to fight for this last 16 seconds inside the time. Luminosity trying to get it done. 3 kills now coming through, and that 1 operator that can. Pantera, the War Machine, trying to provide some Overwatch.
Pantera's been leading the log lead for the majority of this game. 36 kills. There's another one to make it 37, 38 incoming. Pantera just ain't missing with anything right now. Gallerus in control at the point. Luminosity offered up a fight, and they still are. Continuing to be in this game. Gallerus still 3 points over. Cartels and Core just about holding on by the hair on their chinny chin. But here comes the rest of Gallerus. Are they going to be able to break it on through? Hardpoint was the problem yesterday. They still haven't secured it.
Yeah, just 1 more second is all Gallerus need. That double nade doesn't secure it. Luminosity don't really have a path through this hardpoint in towards Nuke. They'll get that 8-second grace period, but it has to be a fast and furious hit for the rotation. I don't know if they can get it done.
Plan for Luminosity has to be utter perfection over this next 5 seconds. Fokke inside the point, but that will do it just right there. Lukashin lines them all up to kill the game off. Hardpoint doubts be damned. The 250 hits the side of Gallerus, and they are 1-0 up in this series. Disastrous start for Luminosity.
And we said it. We said, what does Gallerus need to change their hardpoint woes coming into today, coming into the most important match of the tournament thus far? It was those slow starts, and trust me, Gallerus did not have a slow start there. And I'll tell you what, to be fair, despite that brilliant start from Gallerus, what was it, a 60-point advantage or something ridiculous like that off the start, despite that, Luminosity were constantly snapping at their heels throughout the game. They just could never quite catch up. Gallerus playing incredibly well, and again, I think we're going to see it in the stat lines, but the key difference maker again, you know, versus Stalwart, their key players weren't really in the conversation until later on in the game. Throughout the entirety of the game, everybody stepped up to the plate for Gallerus.
We have some listening as well. The communication was fast and furious, but they just couldn't find kills. It really did feel like that kill feed was dominant by Gallerus throughout the majority of that game, and really helped them on their way. And Luminosity, I want to say that they had like spurts, didn't they? They seemed to just have a few moments here and there where they find 5 kills, they'd get a hold of their hill, and they'd get some good time from it, but they were few and far between. Gallerus just finding everything they possibly could have needed to throughout the majority of that one. Tried to sort of kitchen sink at it towards the end for Luminosity, but the game had been done for a little while. And that's what it means to Gallerus. Their hardpoint has been a huge struggle for them so far at this tournament. They find it in map number 1, and that will make them supremely confident throughout the rest of this series.
Yeah, just nobody from LG was able to keep up with Gallerus. I mean, there's literally, normally in these situations, right, you kind of have one standout, right, that's doing well, and everybody else is kind of dragging their heels a little bit. No, this time around, everybody from Luminosity is struggling. I mean, they're all doing their bits in the hill for the most part, right? I mean, the only player who gets less than 59 seconds, we'll say, inside the hardpoint is Raph with 30 at the bottom of the leaderboard. But still, I mean, LG, they're just not slaying out versus Gallerus.
Outslay by 45.
Quick maps, mate. Love that.
I might not look clever, but...
it's the accent, I think, mate.
Well, okay, right now you're just coming for everybody from Newcastle, so, you know. But 45 outslay is a big difference, you know. And again, I do always like to reiterate that it's not always about the kills, but when you've been outslayed that heavily, it makes your life extremely difficult. Tough start for the side of LG. What can they do here going into this search and destroy? I think we're not seeing that it would be necessarily a nightmare scenario for losing map number 1, but you would see that as the weakness of Gallerus. You haven't been able to capitalize on it. Their S&D has been so strong, and we're going to have a look at why some of the reasons are for that. They looked sensational yesterday, Brody, in Search and Destroy. I wonder if they can continue that on here today.
Yeah, here's a look at the stats then to show you guys exactly what the differences are right now. You can see kind of the kill differentials that Gallerus have just frankly got more in pretty much everything besides the objective, weirdly enough. Here's head-to-head to show you guys that clear record, for Search and Destroy for Gallerus at 5-0. But again, a reminder that 3 of those wins came on Takeoff, Search and Destroy. That map was banned by Luminosity. They knew they couldn't really afford to play Gallerus on that map mode combination. They've gone something they are very clearly more comfortable on in Express, Search and Destroy. They have been gifted that somewhat by Gallerus. So despite the fact that LG's S&D has been left wanting this tournament thus far, I think this could be an opportunity to get into the series.
Well, it has to be something that they take, though, right? From how good the Search and Destroy of Gallerus has been, they at least get one of their picks. We're going to see Kurahana for map number 5 if we do get there, but it's getting there for LG. That is going to be the issue right now. But they can possibly do something here when it comes down to Express. I don't think I've even personally casted an Express at all so far over yesterday. I mean,
okay, I was going to say, you've casted an Express at some point.
Yeah, well, yes, I have.
I thought that was where you're going.
Many times for many years. Thank you very much. But at the same time, we haven't seen it too much yet from either one of these two teams. I presume Luminosity maybe probably played over towards their side. Let's have a reminder of the maps that are coming up over the rest of this series. Search and Destroy Express, what we're talking about, is coming up in just a second. We will see Arsenal Control, and if we need to, I'll see Hard Point, Search and Destroy, Kurahana Metropolis to finish things off. I think that opening map for me gives an indication to what seriousness Gallerus are bringing to today. It wasn't just a win on a hard point, it was a convincing one as well.
Yeah, definitely. I think this is the thing, right? Gallerus, again, we kind of said that their keys to victory going into the series would be winning the hard point, and then I guess, you know, it's a bit presumptuous to say they are going to win the Search and Destroy and the Control, but, you know, that's just off knowledge of the fact that, you know, their Control in Latin America during Season 5 was phenomenal. It was quite literally flawless. And then Search and Destroy yesterday, I mean, again, I don't know if it's just the map, but they just look so well composed. You know, very clearly you can tell they put the work in their Search and Destroy. So for me, it kind of feels like now Gallerus are on the path to that 3-0. The only question marks are, is Express, Search and Destroy going to make all the difference for LG? You know, this is very clearly a map mode combination they are comfortable on. And, you know, if we do get to that Arsenal Control, is it going to be something where LG come and surprise Gallerus? Because that is also their best control map. A lot of questions, a lot of answers coming up in this series. We've got Express, Search and Destroy next up, though. This is a do or die moment for LG. Reminder, folks, this is a single elimination tournament. You get one shot at redemption. If you lose it, you're done.
Is Express going to be the way back into this game for LG? Well, we'll find out when we get back in. But for me, I think it's crucial. Look, I mean, look, the Control has been good over this week. They will look at it as a potential way back into this one as well. But you can't let yourself go down too many maps in these series, in these quarterfinals. We've seen 2 3-0s already. The stronger teams are making it count every single time they get that advantage. Can Gallerus further cement what they want to do here, or can LG tie things up?
Yep. And at the start of the Search and Destroy, I'm looking for aggression out of LG. You've got to get Raph in those positions where his R9 can be pivotal for site control. Express is built for those close quarter engagements. Here we go, right off the rip. Gallerus, they know it. They need to win these up-close and personal gunfights.
Anybody sent over towards A. Utility indicative of exactly what's going on for both two teams. Just trying to find a pick. I think that's one of the massive strengths, though, for Gallerus is their sniper play. But Foki will get up close and personal, not finding one, but two. Raph with the R9 taken down in the first round, and that's Gallerus' advantage already.
Yep, and now you've got a flanking player to deal with, and Henry Cat as well. So for Luminosity, they're starting to feel the vice blows in now. Mihawk continuing to be effective in this round. Cartels for a 1v4, I said. He's a player that steps up in these situations. So already brought it down to a 1 versus 3. If you can get the skill against Henry Cat and then get the hell out of dodge, that's nice. You've still got a wealth of time to work with, but he's going right back for the reach up.
From the position he's in and where the opposition are, this would be one of the best 1v3s you're ever likely to see if it was to happen. And it doesn't. Gallerus with a really good start. It comes from Foki finding those R9 kills to kick off the round, puts him in such an advantageous position. One to the good.
Brilliant start from Gallerus. Again, you know, they've probably started the VOD right. They know that Luminosity are an aggressive team here on Express Search and Destroy. That more often than not is the key to victory to winning this map. So for Gallerus to match that with Foke coming out with 3 kills at the start of the round, he's doing what R9 for Raph needs to be doing. Already opening bloods here in favor of LG. They're looking to once again get control of A. Gallerus now have to retake it without numbers. Lucas in within that snipe is going to make things more difficult, but Kings gets aggressive there with the R9. Doesn't find the first. All of a sudden, it's Lucas in left up 1 versus 3. It all goes awry.
To be honest, if Lucas in hits that shot, I think that completely turns around, though, because then you would have the numbers that don't have to back him up, don't have to give their position up, so you're then not getting rushed. Luminosity do a really good job. Big shout out towards Kings, who finds 2 inside the train. And then the gun getting the job done. We're over towards A again. Teams went even so far on this one, but look at the hold from Luminosity Gaming. They're heading over towards this side. PUBG has to give a shout to his teammates and say, bloody hell, boys, help me out, because they are swarming over towards B, and Luminosity have complete control here.
Yep, I really love that play call from Luminosity. Send a couple of utility bits over towards A to give the impression that it is going to be an A kit. Players that were on B were not ready for it. Straight out of the playbook for Luminosity. And all members are alive here when this bomb goes down. So for Gallerus, how do you approach this one? You've got a plethora of places you can need to check.
Well, you need to win an unfavorable gunfight, is essentially what they need to do here. Luminosity are going to be posted up. Our bomb is, of course, down. 40 seconds or so remaining on this one. This is a gunfight you could do with winning if you're Foki. And you absolutely should have won if you're Cartels. Now is this the second one on the chopping block? Not quite. Kings will find that one. PUBG will find one on the Jezdo. So it is ultimately a 4 versus 3 in favor of Gallerus. That one's going to be turned around now. A 3 versus 3. Chaos on the site. There's Lukashin will find one of the Kings, making it now a 3 versus 2 in favor of Gallerus. Traded again. Mihawk finds another. So S-Dug's left all on his own in a 1v2. It's a brilliant retake from Gallerus.
And it is Mihawk through the middle of the map that makes the difference there. That flank, I think Luminosity had all their angles covered but that one. And when Mihawk comes through for the disruption, picking up 3 kills there, it is Gallerus who are able to make the retake, and that's disheartening for Luminosity. They brought it out of the playbook. It is a play that worked out initially, but Gallerus' retake is just better. Just hits Diffy. This time around, Luminosity wasting no time. It is a straight barrel towards B.
Gallerus going through the middle of the map. There to answer the question if they wish to push through ticket, but they haven't quite executed yet. Right, find himself in a good position here, though. He can start to advance forward, start to cut off some lanes that Gallerus potentially could use. They ain't, and the bomb is yet to be put down. Mazera trying to put some pressure on, and then his Hen. Let's try and push through here with the Odin. They get Sug off the bomb. Difficult position now for Luminosity. Gallerus know exactly where they are. They know where the bomb is, and they have the advantage in numbers.
Yeah, Luminosity, I mean, they've got the bomb, yeah, but they do not have an opportunity to get this bomb down. Trying to hit the audio cue to draw the player inside ticket out. Henry Cat, I mean, he's getting drawn out, but he gets away with a kill there. King's dead to rights. Surely not another one. Jez has given a lot of himself away to Henry Cat there, barely gets away. And Hen is still in this position. Now, Foke trading things out. Raph finds one, as does Cartels. Mihawk able to trade out once again, and they know where Jess is for this 1v3. He is done and dusted. Mihawk once again, the one to put the final nail on the round.
Setting up the flank, when you've got those number of advantages, you know some of the potential routes on the flank are not going to be covered. He just wraps all the way around from behind, can kick into game whenever he wants. He's not the one that initiates it. His teammates starting to put some shots down. He walks through. It's 2 free kills to kill the round off. Team's heading over towards the A side now. This was working for Luminosity. They went to change it up. Hasn't worked since. Foki will be the first one to find a kill. Raf shut down as he tries to push through. It's a big grenade. It's a set grenade. And Foki's just going to get aggressive as well. He's going to be able to find anything. No, he isn't, because Mihawk is there to do it for him. And Foki is then following up. Here comes the cavalry. And with an R9 in hand, a dangerous prospect. Kings does answer back. 4 versus 3. Make it a 4 versus 2.
This is very aggressive from Gallerus. They're getting deep into it. Jez knows it as well. He just held that angle and got something off the over-aggression. Cartels really would have wanted that fight. You know where Jez is, so just trying to hit this one at the same time. Yep, there it is. 2 versus 1 works out perfectly. And now Cartels left alive. 1 versus 3. Might have just seen Mihawk. What? Oh, Mihawk gets first shots in, but Cartels will turn on him. Keeps this 1 versus 3 alive.
The snap from Cartels, giving Luminosity a little bit of hope here. They've got a good eye on where he is. PUBG has been frying in this game, put up some serious numbers on map number 1, and that's as crispy as you could possibly want. Big shot from him. Kills the round off. Gallerus still in prime position here now, Brody.
It's just Gallerus outplaying Luminosity in so many of these different positions, right? That play call from them was perfect. Now the double blind has rushed straight towards B. Who's going to win out? The R9 of Foke has been a problem, as has the Fennec of Mihawk, and it continues to be so. The snipes of Lucastin and Pabzera also in the mix. And Cartels left alive once again. Sorry, Tom, mate, you didn't even get a chance to get into that round. That was so fast.
And these are the counter rounds that you just want to avoid if you're Luminosity. When those first couple of rounds, we had some close ones over towards A, where they were taking their time. Utility was going through. They were trying to put the pressure on that side. As soon as we went over towards B, I don't think Luminosity have had a sniff. Gallerus onto the attacking side. They can now dictate where they really want to go, and they're going to continue going over towards B because, hell, why not? It's been working out so well. It's happened again. Luminosity are just getting slain left, right, and center. 6-1 to the good now. This Gallerus search and destroy is looking scary.
I just don't understand how Luminosity didn't see them run past. They run straight behind them. LG had no idea whatsoever. I mean, maybe Gallerus just got there first. I'm not really sure, but either way, LG taken by surprise from behind. Now Gallerus on map point. Once again, double blind straight towards B.
Just finds first blood. Foki will find one back, but usually the result of anything over towards B is only one thing and one thing only, and that's a Gallerus round win. 1 more player remaining. Gallerus have just made absolute mincemeat of Luminosity here on Express. Yeah, hold your best S&D and take the L. 2 to the good. Gallerus running away with this one.
That's an LG map. That is an LG map. You get that, you get gifted that by the Vetoes. You take that. And yet the same kind of play style that we know LG are capable of from SBS Season 5, they just were never able to enact it. What gives them success on that map mode combination back during the challenge season? It's Raph getting in positions where he can be a nuisance with the R9. It's Jez being frustrating with a sniper at long range. You just could never activate any of that, because Gallerus were constantly up in your face. They were winning the R9 battles with Foke, and I gotta give some love to Mihawk, man, because he was constantly running routes around Luminosity. He was running rings around Luminosity, to be honest with you. They had no idea where he was 90% of the time.
It felt like when things were a little slower, it was working out quite well for LG. It was a decent start from them. You know, they were unfortunate not to be 2-0 up. But after that, they were like, okay, let's try BL. Let's throw some different things at Gallerus. Gallerus like, oh, you want to go into 5v5 gunfights towards one side? Yeah, bet. No problem. 12-6 from Foki. And a 7-1 lead. And the Search and Destroy is enough to take the map away. A 2-0 lead in the series. I'm sure I did say 3-0, I think.
You want to say 3-0 now. You know, and it goes back to those storylines, right? I mean, so much of the conversation around Gallerus is always Lucastin, right? And, you know, I think we're partially guilty of that, right? Mobile Masters, that
it's hard not to be.
It's hard not to be, because he is just that good of a player, and there's always that conversation of point, like, is he the best player in the world? I think certainly we were having those conversations around Mobile Masters, but you really do have to give some love to the rest of the Gallerus side, because all of them are capable of keeping up with him. I think in this series in particular, they've actually outpaced him. Lucastin, I think, has taken a step back somewhat, while the rest of the team are the ones slaying out. And that's not the worst thing in the world, because it doesn't matter who's slaying out, as long as they're winning.
I think that's one thing we have talked about, though, with the side of Gallerus. When it has come down to their general gameplay, it has sometimes felt like as if Lucastin's not having a good game, then they sometimes can struggle up against some of the better teams. He hasn't had to have a good game. The rest of the team are absolutely frying. Pabzera in map number 1 was utterly dominant. Every single time we've seen him on our screens or seen the kill feed, it was him lighting LG up, but now LG have to do almost the impossible here against Gallerus. It would have to be a reverse sweep if they want to come back into this series and stay alive here. Call of Duty Mobile World Champs.
Yep, and again, a positive going in this one. This is probably the best map you could have asked for in Control if you are LG. This is their strongest Control map by far. I mean, as a matter of fact, they got 4 wins during the Snapdragon Pro Series Season 5 in North America on Control, and all 4 of them came from Arsenal. So you basically won the jackpot as far as the vetoes were concerned for Control. But still, I mean, does it really matter at this point? Because on the flip side of that conversation, you've got Gallerus, who albeit have, I think, relatively struggled on Control this weekend. You know, you go back to their Season 5, their domestic challenge season, and they were flawless on Control. They were the best Control team in that region. So I think it is so difficult at this point, not just to ask LG to win this map, but to ask them to reverse sweep. They are fighting a very, very steep uphill battle.
That's the thing for LG here as well, because that's Gallerus now at 6-0 on Search and Destroy. Gallerus will now be thinking to themselves, right, okay, well, even if we lose these next 2 maps, we have another Search and Destroy. We haven't lost one all week. That's going to be confidence inspiring for them. They will know themselves, even if the reverse sweep's potentially on the cards, okay, there will definitely be some nerves there, absolutely. But if that goes to a map 5, they will still feel supremely confident they can walk away with this series, and that will also be in the back of their minds now to think, right, we've got 2 maps to finish this one off. We might not need them because we have that map number 5 in the Search and Destroy in the back pocket securely at this stage, because it's been absolutely superb. But Arsenal Control going to be coming up next. I think, you know, for LG to have that flawless record on this map is going to give them confidence heading into this. Gallerus are a different beast, man.
But like the thing is, right, I mean, you'd probably be thinking the same thing going in the Search and Destroy. You'd probably be like, well, hey, Express Search and Destroy is our map, right? So we're going to do well. And that just happened. I don't know if you saw it, but that was a pretty good Search and Destroy for Gallerus. So, you know, again, it's kind of like maybe expectations are out the window. There's always the asterisk as well with these kind of conversation points. I mean, really, the stats from the domestic regions are just, these are the preferential maps for these teams. These are the maps where these guys have had success. But how much does that really matter when you come into an international event like this? Like, really, you're looking at performances like those on Mobile Masters, like those at CDSI, to see, all right, you can be good at these maps domestically, but when you go up against the best teams in other regions, does that same kind of thing pan out? And, you know, I'm getting the vibe at the moment that given the fact that, you know, LG just lost that Express Search and Destroy, I mean, maybe it's not working against international teams.
And for everybody at home, just to remind you of how these teams actually managed to get away through. Gallerus had to go to their very final game to get there. It took them 5 before they were able to get it done. It was a 3-2 out of Swiss. So they're coming in as the lowest seed here. Luminosity got through within 4. It took the 5 for Gallerus to get into bracket play. With a big single elimination. Tough to take for either one of these 2 teams if you do go in with the L, which right now is looking like LG's option in this series, because Gallerus are giving them none other. How's this one going to go, though? Is it potentially Arsenal Control to bring it back into this game if you are LG, or do Gallerus continue the theme of 3-0s today? It's been one-sided in nearly every single affair. It has been the case here in this series in particular as well, but can Luminosity potentially turn it around here on Arsenal Control?
I would love a competitive series. I would love to even get a sniff of a Game 5, but we're very far away from it right now. Gallerus, do they come out all guns blazing like they have the last couple of maps already? It looks like that might be the case. First couple of kills going their way. Luminosity trying to fight a war on 2 fronts, but you're not going to get a war won when you're facing Lucas in on the other side of the battlefield.
Oh, and you worried for him when that sniper play did come through. They get up close and personal. It does not matter what this man is using, and this is just not the start you would have wanted if you're Luminosity. 5-0 finding one down the outside. It's only Estok who can really answer back to what has been a flurry of kills for Gallerus to kick things off. And with it, plenty of map control.
LG will have to slow things up considerably here. Raf trying to play sneaky for a route, perhaps towards B. Maybe towards A. You've got to make a decision, I think, pretty fast here. Focky getting the read, doesn't matter. Raf's going to run-gun him, so that's a good start. The problem is, though, you might well have that 1 kill. The rest of your teammates haven't actually gotten kills anywhere else. Maybe not. Maybe Raf is just good enough to pick up all these gunfights, create some space for the rest of LG, because nobody is now contesting him in the middle of the map.
And they had to rotate around for the pressure that was coming in. There is actually a spawn kill potentially on the go as well here. Raf doing actually crazy things here with the KRM. And he is really one of the big reasons this is why they've actually managed to find themselves this far up the map. 29 seconds on the clock. That has now been stopped with the pressure that they've been able to go on over towards A. Keep an eye on PUBG. He might be the one to make the move here. If the rest of the team can get something going through the double doors, Cartels will find one onto him, though, and shut that down. So that should be a gun. You're locked in by Luminosity. So now B, they have a whole minute and a half to try and get things going. But Gallerus have been setting up here for some time, but they've been dealt with. Jez finds not 1, 2, but 3. And that opens the door well and truly wide open for the side of LG.
He is gone. LG now on the way. Nobody from Gallerus to deal with here, but those ones coming off the spawn. Henry Cut trying to be on the point though. Raph now looking to be a nuisance with the KRM. Going to immediately bring out this Predator Missile to deal with that pesky player that is on the point. Luminosity, first tick about to potentially be through here. Gallerus got to find your way through.
Yeah, Gallerus has just been really broken open by the side of Raph. The shotgun come out and all of a sudden they came to play. Henry Cut can find 2 though. Here comes the pressure from the side of Gallerus, who just wiped them off the face of the planet. 9-9 on lives, but the thing is now for LG, they haven't necessarily been pushed back here. What a huge name from Cartel straight off the spawn. Will give Luminosity the initiation here if they can try and find a way through.
Yeah, we've been taken here by Raph though. Again, he's trying to do the exact same thing, create some space for the rest of his team while the rest of Luminosity make their way to the front of the point. Cartel also invest in the war machine. He's found one, but you don't quite account for Meekhawk with 3. Cartel's still alive though.
Cartel's trying to get something going here. Gallerus only have 4 lives remaining, but they just need to hold on sight. One player on the flank is going to not be dealt with. That's going to be Raph to find hand. 3 versus 5. Foki now going to be taken down as well. Lukashin can find 1, but Pabzera has also brought out the war machine. He needs to find some value with it. Luminosity backing up because they have the time to. Pabzera can find another. Surely doesn't find that gunfight. He does not. 1 versus 3 for Lukashin is what is needed, but just so difficult for him to do in this position with the sniper. That should be the round to LG and is. Through thick or thin, they get the job done. That was a scary one for a second, but they get the job well and truly done. Very well played.
Yeah, and it's the exact same strategy twice there for Luminosity consecutively, right? They get Raph through the middle of the map, they get in a position where he is cutting off LG, forcing them to all go up the steps. They can't get through Raph, not when he's got the KRM at that short range. Not even Foki can beat him in those gunfights. So for Gallerus, just getting outplayed by that. LG with the strats win them that round number 1. Now they can they follow it up with a solid defense in round number 2. The one operator that they've got ready to go here, S-Thug, going to bring it out to play. Not finding any value just yet because Gallerus has made their way towards B.
Gallerus have freely walked down the B street. S-Thug well placed to Pabzera, and now all of a sudden LG can start to think about trying to get a little bit more control over towards the side because Gallerus just walked straight up. They will find those kills, they will push out those lanes. Keep an eye on Meekhawk. They know where he is though. He's taking some damage, so they've got a decent idea, but he's got a claw in his hands. Now he's on the spawn spree. Yeah, this is going to be dangerous, but they deal with him almost immediately. No players really spawning in for him to deal with. Everybody from Gallerus wasn't really finding the kills that he needed them to find.
And I think more to the point here, Gallerus haven't actually done anything off the back of that, right? A was totally clear. Now they're preoccupied with the Luminosity players that are trying to retake the point. No progress made whatsoever. Now Raph coming in from behind, having the help of Kings with him. Also Jez on the other side. Jez at the very least will be dealt with, but now the spawn trap coming through from LG. Gallerus, I think at this point, the 4 players that are alive, you've just got to kind of stick to this point.
Oh, they've lost a couple of kills as well, and that's going to create a little bit of chaos. Are they going to have enough help to actually get out of this spawn trap? No, they are not. S-Thug finds 2. He's going to be left on his own to try and keep things going. Lives-wise, we are leaning towards Luminosity ever so slightly. They'll deal with the players who were there on that spawn trap, who are now starting to find the way around again. A has been captured, though, and Gallerus are working on plenty here over towards the B side, whereas Luminosity really focused on the spawn trap. It hasn't necessarily worked here, Brody.
Yeah, I think they committed just a little too much resources to that spawn trap. I think they had 2 or 3 players in behind enemy lines while nobody was keeping an eye on the middle of the map. Fortunately enough, Raph is there though. S-Thug, I think, forced to invest the Predator Missile here to clear things up a little bit against Gallerus. And Gallerus will be sent back to square 1. But they have a lot of time here. They've already got 1 tick down on B. And Luminosity, their entire backline is reliant on S-Thug getting these kills, and I think that's the route that Gallerus are taking here. Will it work? I think Raph with the jump up might have just made the call to the teammates. That's what's happening.
If Raph can find something else here, that will be huge for him and his team. He knows this player's there. He does actually manage to find Meekhawk before going down to Lukashin. You can see already Gallerus are starting to work on some sort of flank if they can. Meekhawk and Code trying to get something done. S-Thug is the one watching it though. He can find 1 before he gets taken down by Foki, but here come the rest of the team. But now they're going to be distracted by the fact that Foki is here. He's pulled out the equalizer, but he's going to have so many players in and around him. But is that going to open up the door for the rest of Gallerus, or can Foki just deal with them? He can only find 1. But is that going to give them the room on the other side of the map?
But it's the exact same thing that we saw earlier on, where Gallerus, you're getting a player in that position, but you're not doing anything with it. You can't just follow that up with another flank. And that's the attempt here. Cartel's in behind, able to get the team shots. There's the finisher. Pabzera down for the count. That's a bad decision. from Gallerus. If you're going to get a player with the claw into the spawn trap, you need to have players ready to capitalize on
What's
it.
been working out for Gallerus though in the search and destroy with these 5v5 fights, and that's what they're going to have to force here to try and find themselves around. They're down 4, now 5 lives in total. Can they manage to find a way through? Lucashin will find one, 5-0 will find another. They've got to try and be flawless. They cannot. Cartels find something, and it should be the round for Luminosity unless 2 players from Gallerus can do the impossible. Not going to happen. Luminosity giving some life here in this series. 2 to the good now. But Gallerus, it feels like maybe we're overconfident in some of their play, especially in round number 1. But round number 2 was a little bit of a fumble.
It's just uncharacteristically individual, is what I describe it as right now. Gallerus, I think, you know, that they try it twice in the same round. A spawn trap where they don't have anybody on the follow-up. I mean, even if you're successful, it's not going to work. Regardless, Luminosity have everything going for them now, and this round, the amount of utility on side is insatiable. Predator missile down to keep Gallerus inside while the path is opened up over towards B. I mean, they've got so many options to start this round, and perhaps there, I mean, no choice but kind of blindly fire these War Machine pellets down range. You will find one, but LG, I mean, they're still in the conversation for a B cap.
Going to try and get a little bit of control. Kings doesn't have the spot, but the shots are fantastic with the Odin. Posted up with that. It's a dangerous prospect for the side of Gallerus. We'll find something over towards Lab, so Mihawk could potentially cause some issue, but Luminosity, as soon as they got a hold of B, they haven't let it go, and Raph now just trying to press the issue if he can as well. They want to secure B, they want to secure this map. It's looking more and more likely as time is going on. B is lost, you got A locked down here with Raph as well. This game may well be done before it's even started.
Yeah, it feels like it, doesn't it? LG are investing everything to get this one done and dusted. A in control for them. Cartels now looking to keep these guys away. I don't even know if Gallerus can touch this point in time. Henry Cat really does feel like the only coat in behind enemy lines. He's going to get cut down. Gallerus, no choice but to go through the smallest of choke points to keep this game alive. Facing down the Annihilator from Kings and all the bullets and weapons of LG. Kings with a double, that should surely be it, and it will. LG keeping this series alive. Arsenal control is theirs.
After looking flawless in their regular season, they bring it to the world stage as well. Arsenal control gets them a lifeline in this series. And something to talk about for the Gallerus coaching team and players. All right, we thought we had this one done and dusted. And that's what it felt like in round number 1. When they came out the gate, they found 5 or 6 kills straight from that. But that was the only note, really, from Gallerus throughout the entirety of the map. Other than that, it was all LG. It just got down to business, got the job done. A series is something we now have on our hands, Brody, because it wasn't feeling like that after the first 2 maps.
Yeah, it is a lot better, I think, now for LG, and I got to imagine for them, I think they were kind of feeling a lot better just even seeing this in the veto process, seeing this in the map set once that process was done. That being said, you know, look, I'm giving Gallerus a little bit of stick here for messing up the spawn trap, because of course that's one of the ways in which, you know, you kind of have to play Arsenal, you have to play around the spawn mechanics on this map mode combination. I got to give LG a bit of props, actually, because even though Gallerus did mess it up and kind of open the door for LG to capitalize, in those situations, LG were very quick to deal with it. They were like, all right, look, someone is trying to flank us here. They might have an operator. Let's get them out before they can cause some problems. And they did that without taking the players from the key positions out of those positions, right? Raph consistently stayed in that cut, making sure nobody made their way through the middle of the map. I think that's really impressive team play coming out from LG, right decision making, and I think it's the thing that ends up winning them the map.
And it felt like the catalyst for that was Raph, right? Over the entirety with the shotgun. And we see it from the first player through Vent. We've seen one player push towards him. All right, okay, he's been dealt with a shotgun. And then another just sprinting in there with fists up, expecting to be able to do something. And I want to say it was arguably cockiness from the side of Gallerus to a certain degree at the start of that. But, I mean, who can blame them after the first 2 maps, I suppose? But you get caught lacking just a little bit if you're Gallerus, and Luminosity throw themselves back into the conversation of this series. Round number 4 is going to be coming up in just a second. And we're going to be going over, I believe at least, to a Luminosity hardpoint here. They've got to be feeling good heading into map number 4. And then that would force, obviously, a map number 5, which would be Gallerus' search and destroy pick in Kurahana. But again, for all that I did mention that Gallerus will remain confident in this series, whatever happens. Even if they have to go to a last map, they know they have it within them to dominate that search and destroy. It's all very well saying that, but how they would feel on the main stage is something different entirely.
Yeah, I mean, it's very different up there, ultimately, right? But still, I mean, for these guys, they've got to be feeling so happy on the main stage, right? I mean, LG, they're finally in the series now. They've got some momentum in their favor. They didn't just win that map, but they did so convincingly, and I think they can kind of now be feeling a lot more relaxed. As you said, you now going into a map which is yours. Hacienda Hardpoint is a strong map for Luminosity. It is their best hardpoint map from Season 5 of the Snapdragon Pro series. So we are potentially looking at, obviously, you know, given the fact that Luminosity have just won their control in Arsenal, a situation where we might go to a Game 5. Our first Game 5 of the day here in the quarterfinals. It would be awesome to see, but for LG, again, this is a totally different beast here in Gallerus.
Well, let's see if Gallerus can repurpose themselves after what was a dominant win for LG in map number 3. We have a quick break coming up before map number 4. We'll see on the other side.
All right, Beef Mommy here with Luminosity Gaming, North America's #1 team going into the World Championship. Again, how are you guys feeling going into Atlanta? Let's start with you, Cartels.
I'm excited to play, you know, especially Elevate and X-Walk that made it here.
You already name dropped a lot of teams then.
I didn't get to play them yet like that, so, you know, I'm excited to play those teams.
That's cool. How about you, Kings?
I'm neutral. No, just going in it, confident.
Simple. Jez?
Yeah, more excited than last year because I didn't play at all.
Oh, yeah. You getting ready for your redemption arc for this year?
Yeah, you can say something like that. Yeah. Stop laughing.
I'm feeling great. You know, we're really excited. We've been grinding. We're the #1 team in NA for a reason. So we're going in guns blazing. We're going to go. It's going to be great. It's going to be great.
S-Thug.
I'm pretty excited to play all the teams overall, and it gives it like another opportunity to show yourself.
Of course. What do you think sets LG apart from the other NA teams?
You got me thinking now.
Oh, yeah?
I got it.
Okay.
Simple.
You got it.
It's simple as this. You know, stage 4 MVP from last year. This guy is a prodigy, I'll be honest. In my honest opinion, the best AR in North America right here. Jez, 2022 World Champion for a reason. And we got my boy S-Thug, probably the most talented, best player of all time in NA. I know it's a big take, but I genuinely think he is like one of the best of all time. And you got me, AO Raf, the best shotgun player in North America. I can definitely claim that. I think something that really makes us great is that, jokes aside, all 5 of these players, myself included, have something to prove. You know what I mean? Going into champ, so.
What pushes you forward, like as a team or as an individual?
My mom, before, she did not want me to play at all, wanted me to go to school and stuff. I had to have, like, Sylvia, like, Team Mayhem, like, see, I'll talk to my mom to let me play and stuff, so she kind of helped out on that. Now my mom, like, supports it, so I just want to make my mom proud and stuff.
Pretty much the same thing, you know, want to prove to myself that, you know, win a ring, supporters too as well, so, you know, got something big to live up to.
Last year I didn't play stage 5, so, and being that 2022 I got a ring, I want to be the first to get 2.
Proof as a team that we can be the first team to win again.
Individually, I've been doubted a lot as a player, but so that's one thing that motivates me. But even sometimes when I'm down, I look at these guys. Every single player here, myself included, is really hungry. So we're coming in with flames. This will be the best COD Mobile Championship we've ever had, period, to date. So make sure you tune in.
Well, Raf said it himself, they have something to prove. They have themselves now a series that they can potentially come back in here in Atlanta. Welcome back to the Call of Duty Mobile World Championships 2024. Hell of a game on our hands here between Luminosity and Gallerus. But thank you to our partners across the board, and especially to DHL. Chance to win €5,000. Follow that link, esl.gg/EFFI. Hey, I've got my phone with me. I'm in there.
Yeah, I'd love it, mate. €5,000. You could do a lot of €5,000. You could buy, like, I don't know, 5,000 Freddos or something like that, isn't it?
I think they're probably more than €1 these days.
They probably are,
This is going so far over the Americans' heads, I'm not going to lie. But back to the conversation at hand. LG back into this game.
Yep.
But do we believe that this map number 4 could go their way? Based on maps 1 and 2, what we've seen from Gallerus was very, very strong. But that confidence now for LG is going to be there. They know we'll have a chance in this series.
Yeah, I think, you know, the difference maker for me now is that we are going into a map that LG would want to play in Hacienda, right? So they will be very comfortable here. This is where your ARs are going to show up to the game. And you heard the call, right? I mean, Kings and S-Thug, 2 of the best ARs in North America, right? Raf has got a lot of confidence in his team. Of course, Cartel's also, I mean, he showed up in that last game as top fragger for the roster. He always shows up in these situations, in these clutch-up situations. So I feel like, genuinely, I know we said 3-0 to begin with, but now, of course, you know, we have the map set in front of us. We have an LG that feels fired up here. I feel like this might well go all the distance to a Game 5.
In the pit of my stomach, I'm with you on that, actually, because it just feels like it's such a flip. It's so many times, I mean, over just Call of Duty esports, full stop. That third map in game mode, wherever it is, over the years, domination comes to the flag, control, whatever. It always feels like it can be a bit of a swing. If a team dominates in the way that Galores did over maps 1 and 2, a control all of a sudden happens, you lose that one.
Yep.
The doubt creeps in. Are Galores mentally strong enough to be able to deal with what is now going to be a very difficult map number 4? Because if LG find this one, yes, okay, they have a very tough map number 5 coming up, if that is the case. But the confidence will be on one side of the stage. And, well, for me, it's the left-hand side. I'm not sure which way you guys are seeing it at home, but that's where it will feel. Luminosity.
I just had to do my left and rights there for a second. Sometimes it's confusing, you know. But yeah, Luminosity will definitely have a lot of momentum on their side. Let's take a look then at map number 1 highlights. A reminder of what happened if you're just joining us. In the first hardpoint of the series, we were talking about Galores. I think, you know, over the course of yesterday, we're kind of slow starting in hardpoint. And then later on during the games, that's when they kind of kick things off. This was definitely not the case. Right from frame 1, Galores started strong.
It's a fantastic performance from them. If they can bring this kind of level to map number 4, all of a sudden that Luminosity confidence will be dealt with. But I mean, it was a really convincing hardpoint, and that had been the issue for Galores all day yesterday throughout the Swiss. Hardpoint was severely lacking. I tell you what wasn't, their search and destroy, still flawless after map number 2 between these two teams. That just went so one-sided in Galores' direction so quickly.
Yeah, I think that the key differentiating factor here is, again, you know, Luminosity on this map mode combination. When we saw them during the Season 5 of the Snapdragon Pro Series, I mean, they were so aggressive. They were constantly successful at getting Raph in those positions where they could unsettle the other team. Galores never let that happen. On the flip side of the situation, you had players like Mihawk being so annoying, Fokke being so annoying, just constantly getting under their skin and finding routes that would frustrate them. So Galores here taking that search and destroy.
It was a fantastic performance from Galores on that map in particular, but they're going to have to bring something else to the table here in map number 4, because map 3 was not great. Luminosity will be trying to eat into that confidence now, trying to use it to enable them to force that map number 5. Whatever happens in this series, I'm sure this map is going to be an absolute banger one way or another. We should be jumping in momentarily, but I think for Hacienda, talk to me about both these two teams and how we feel about this map specifically. I know you mentioned already LG, you feel probably confident on it, that's why they picked it.
Right. But
how do you feel about Galores' chances on this map in particular?
You know, I'm so glad you asked, Ton, because we did actually see them teams. They're going to have that kind of rotation towards P2 in the back of the mind. That's why you're seeing Luminosity back up just a little bit, making sure that nobody from Galores has kind of gone through.
All about the rotation, no. That's going to be coming in pretty shortly. And just curious to see how some of these opening gunfights are going to go. Very even across the board from both these two teams. It's one of those that if Luminosity came out the gate screaming, you worry for Galores, but they're picking up some good free time here. Rotation over towards P2 is kind of 50-50 as well. Luminosity with a nice stop.
Yep. Luminosity actually winning some of the fights as well. I was a little bit concerned that they've let too many Galores players already in towards Lamborghini. But they're doing well to take them out. Raph goes through the smoke. Shot's not good. Lucasin will survive that fight on his own only momentarily. A couple of players now. Jez and Estog looking to push through. Mihawk able to double up. Jez will get the car bomb onto one player, but the rest of those gunfights going in Galores' favor. Now they've got the back spawns as well, but Luminosity, they're trying to fight for it.
Lucasin trying to stay alive as long as he can. Does get taken down by Jez, so that may well give Luminosity just a little bit of a toehold. Over towards this hill, if they can even get anywhere near it. Galores right now are just about keeping them at bay. Operator's going to start coming into play pretty shortly. Raph has done so well to find something there, though. Estog is the only one who can kind of combine with him, but into the point they go. Estog just does it all on his own. Him and Raph getting the job done. Break comes through from Luminosity off the back. Some crazy play from Estog.
Yeah, and you're already forcing out the utility from Galores here. You know, Mihawk earned a Predator missile early on. He knows how important this time is, so he's going to bring that one down to keep Luminosity out of the hard point. Even that is not enough. Still, a couple of players hanging around here. Fokke over the top will get shut down, not able to connect with the R9. So LG will get that scrap time. And actually, to be fair, they might have a good look at the rotation as well. Estog has snuck through. He's getting some shots in towards Mihawk. Mihawk trying to play his life. That's not going to happen. And if Estog can find even more here, this is going to do more than just cause some problems for Galores. It's going to turn their attention away from the rest of LG.
Well, eventually, they do take him down, but it actually took the Sparrow to get rid of him from Henricat. All of a sudden, this rotation that was looking good for Gallerus is no longer. Luminosity have come through the front door. Estug has come back with his own Sparrow and said, yeah, okay, I can do this too. And here come the rest of the operators now. Cartel starting to ring out the War Machine over towards the fence's side. Kills over towards the back though, coming in from Lukashin. A potential pinch being set up here by the side of Gallerus.
Gallerus still trying it, but they just can't get past the ARs. We talked about it, right? The ARs being this massive thing for LG. Now PUBG inside with the War Machine, though. Wants to get some serious value with it. Not a lot connecting, but Raf's R9, or Raf's Equalizer, excuse me, will. PUBG now fighting back with a War Machine of his own. Still alive in the situation. Had a killer drone going out for a 1. Gallerus know how important even this 10 seconds is. Even if it's just a contest, you take it all day long. Luminosity now looking for it. They will have a clean look at this next rotation.
Cartels has done so well. This final 5 seconds, he's contested every single one of them. And that's forced the rest of Luminosity. Well, okay, they've had the time. They've had the momentum to be able to push over towards this next hill, whereas the rest of Gallerus are just trying to deal with one player. Luminosity get themselves set up here over towards the rock hill, and they will manage to pick up the first few kills, the first few points. 10 seconds their way, but Lukashin is here, and he's got a big old gun. Annihilator is out from him. He's trying to do it all for his team. Pokey is there to follow up. Lukashin with a third. Breaks it wide open, pretty much all on his own.
Yep, Lukashin going to create some space here for Gallerus. Kings now wants to do exactly what Lukashin just did to him. Mihawk on the other side, keeping the rest of the reinforcements away. Mihawk is able to completely burn through the entirety of the Luminosity roster. That's 3 in a row for him. And Kings, despite having this Annihilator, hasn't really had a chance to activate with it and isn't even going to get a single kill with it. Gallerus are just overwhelming Luminosity here. They're getting so much time on this hard point, and they're about to take the lead.
It felt like Kings was waiting for something to fall into his lap, whereas Lukashin was the one being proactive with that Annihilator. Finds 3 out of absolutely nothing, and then the kill feed is looking in one direction and one direction only. Brilliant hold from Gallerus, but it only gives them an ever so slight lead heading into the second rotation. But that could be influential. Luminosity were looking good for the setup, and they got blown apart.
This has been a close hard point thus far. We promised you guys a banger here. It's Luminosity looking to extend this series to 5. Now I want to try and take the lead once again. P1, mixy as ever. PUBG trying to garner some kind of control of this top side. The ARs for Gallerus are going to want to step it up a notch if they do want the map control around here. LG, look, they're going to be in here for the moment. Still trying to fight for this time. Estug again is looking for that top side control. It gives you just so much control over the middle of the hard point, but Lukashin able to find his way through for at least 1. Being so frustrating, and all of these kills here for Gallerus means they flip the map in their favor.
We've seen over towards P2. It was pretty mixy between the squads. It was a big play needed from Luminosity to actually find themselves back in control of that point. Can Estug and co continue to find these plays? Because that's what it feels like. It feels like they're relying on the big moments so far throughout this game. Gallerus found one of their own and found nearly a full 60. Now the rotation over towards P2. That hill's going to be popping in about 6 seconds' time. Gallerus have the opportunity to set themselves up. They can lay down the land. They know exactly where LG are coming from. That kill tells you that exactly. Cartels can find 1 with his War Machine. Isn't going to find a whole lot else. Kings finds a couple though. Luminosity threatening. Yeah, you need to find something here. Cartel's actually looking for a flanking player here. That's created some space for the rest of the team to find their way through. Gallerus now forced in towards using their stuff. PUBG fight 4. Hello, welcome to the party, PUBG. Gallerus now full investment here to take this time away. Luminosity split spawns round the back line, looking to try and take it away from Gallerus. Fokke recognizes the urgency to push out of the hard point, will only be able to find 1, but Gallerus still in for the moment. Right play coming in from Fokke there. I mean, he has to push out one end of things, doesn't he? It becomes very, very difficult when you're dealing with players coming in from a couple of different angles. Lukashin can only find 1 with his Annihilator. It felt like he only had that about 2 seconds ago, but Gallerus will be the ones who pick up the majority of the time here. Trying to actually solidify something over towards the scrap time. Raf is just holding it down all on his own with the equalizers. Making 3, not going to find the 4th. But he is going to stop Gallerus picking up the majority of that time. That, what, 10, 15 seconds? That's a 30-point swing potentially to the deterrent of Luminosity. But because Raf finds those moments, he finds that equalizer kill. It shuts that down. Now they have the rotation as well over towards Fences. They had a lot of luck here last time. Let's see if they can do it again.
Yeah, this is the key one, right? This is the one where Fences is always messy. To get a lot of time off this hill would be miraculous, and Luminosity know it. Still going to invest in for it regardless. Jez will only actually find 1 there with the claw, but fortunately enough, the rest of the team here are still in the hard point to contest. Gallerus players in behind though. Keep an eye on Fokke, looking to cause some carnage. He's going to get cut short now for Gallerus. This is a one-dimensional attack from the front.
Let's see if they can find a way through. Lukashin is the tip of the spear, and Mihawk is behind you as well with a knife in the back. Kings will be the only one who's able to find anything back. So Gallerus will get some control for around 20 more seconds potentially. A lot being invested by a couple of the players here. Operators across the board. Fokke will find another one. Lukashin behind him. Fokke looking for the third. Raph though will find two of his own. Finding tooth and nail for this one over towards fences. If you are Luminosity Gaming around, they have got.
Yeah, but you got to be careful. The Annihilator last time around from Lucasin was the problem. This time around, he doesn't have one just yet. Predator Missile will be down, so now they know where these players are located. Kings, Annihilator, inside the hard point this time around. How much can you actually find? Gallerus are coming all from this one direction here. They're facing down both the Annihilator and the War Machine from Cartels, and Cartels reads Mihawk perfectly, and will find Lucasin as well. Luminosity off back of great utilization of the operators will hold the early time.
Yeah, Gallerus is going to be getting hold of their own very, very shortly, though. You would like to think perfect usage. You are absolutely right. So efficient from Cartels and Co. Gallerus are going to be in a position where they can do the same themselves. They're currently inside the hard point, 24 seconds to go. Estog, though, he's got a Sparrow of his own, finds a couple more. It just seems as if every single operator has been brought out here by Luminosity has been great, but Fokke trying to do the same with the Equalizer. Can only find two. Back and forth, nobody really gaining any sort of control.
Fokke would have found that fourth kill there. I know that's a lot to ask for any player with the Equalizers, but still, was not good enough. Luminosity still holding on for this one. Mihawk, can he get anything done with the Purifiers? No, Raph on the other side. Mihawk's still alive, by the way, with that Purifier. He's looking for the players to go through the middle of the map. He's not able to find anything whatsoever. So as we go into the second...
Oh, they're going to... And we do see teams pick up decent chunks of time on this Fountain Hill. And that's going to give Gallerus the initiation to be able to do that. Setting themselves up, still continue to find the kills. Luminosity maybe need to take a step back. We've got a dead, even game. And it feels like Gallerus are probably going to have a lot of operators available here. You can see already Henry Cat has the Sparrow out, trying to do what he can with it too. Also available for Lukashin and PUBG. Raph does have something available for probably the rotation over towards P2 in just a second. But it feels like both these two teams, they're trading back and forth when the operators are available. Right now, it's Gallerus' turn.
I don't know if Gallerus will want to utilize them here with 10 seconds left, right? I think you want to try and keep those ones for this next rotation. You currently don't have control of it. Big kill from Mihawk on towards one player. Rogue Spawn coming through there from Cartels. It's going to give them an opportunity here to get inside the hard point. Jez will win the crucial one-on-one as well. And with those spawns now going Luminosity's way here, they've got an opportunity to hold. They're 9 points down at this point in time. Here come the operators.
The operators are out, but they have a pinch being potentially set up here if you're Gallerus. Jez can find two with the claw. Here comes Raph. There's a little bit of backup. Being pressed from two different sides here, water and of course from the car park. Up the ramp we go. If you're PUBG, you start to fire into the smoke and see where you can hit, and absolutely everything is the answer. Finds three on his own, and not much left available here from the side of Luminosity. Lukashin now bringing out the Annihilator as well. 200 points is beckoning for Gallerus.
Yeah, and you can find this one from the front as well. Fortunately, though, Luminosity do manage to get one player through. That has to be the savior here, while Gallerus is just firing all of this downrange. Predator Missile now coming down from Henry Cat as well. Cartel looking to just fire those pellets through the smoke as well. If they can do it, why can't I? Big plays from Cartels as he gets through for the back 15 seconds. LG wanted this time.
Gallerus walking away with their tail between their legs. It felt as if they were holding that one down so well, but it's going to be Luminosity with an ever so slight lead by the time we get over towards the fences. Both teams to take a breath, take a moment. We're getting to the nitty-gritty of this map, and both these teams so evenly matched. P3 really has been a bit of a mixy one. It's going to be Gallerus, the first one's there, but Luminosity trying to find a way through from the other side. Can only find one in the back of Cartels. Lukashin found one of his own. Operator's going to start coming in as well. You can already see it's the Sparrow from Estog. Finds one, but Fokke shuts that one down, and now he comes out with the Equalizers as well. Fokke now holding it down entirely on his own. They got one player on the flank, but everybody coming this way.
Yeah, and as long as they have a player back towards Fence's side, you can read these spawns perfectly. You know where Luminosity are going to be coming from, and Fokke's just going to sit in a corner, and they're going to run right into him. Fokke picking up all of these kills. Gallerus soaking up all of this time. This is normally a mixy hardpoint ton, and Gallerus is so certain of it. They're so happy with the time they gained.
The operator usage has been almost perfect from the side of Gallerus. They're now finding themselves around 25 seconds away, but Raph finds two out of absolutely nothing. He's pulled that from thin air, and Fokke answers back with three, now four, making it a fifth in a row from Fokke, bringing it down with the shotgun, and that might be another nail in the coffin of Luminosity Gaming. Gallerus taking over when they need to.
Yeah, but they're not finishing things here regardless of what happens, but they've put a serious dent in in Luminosity's hopes and dreams. Rotational battles are paramount here, and Luminosity have put so much into the scrap time. Fortunately enough, though, they are going to win the gunfights over by Nu, but it's far from done yet. Gallerus, they're on their way.
That breather that everybody needs, that the team needs to happen now for Luminosity, and they need to take these deep breaths and they need to lock this one down because Gallerus are finding themselves 16 seconds away from sending themselves to a Sunday. Lukashin is there with PUBG. These two players have been the catalyst for this side of Gallerus time and time again. Mihawk is the only one who can find something, but he's got a flamethrower inside of the point, so you want to be careful if you're entering. They are going to get in, and Luminosity looking to try and find a break. They've got one more player to deal with. They do that just about in time. Gallerus have found a way back, though. They're not far away, but Luminosity in control and finding the kills.
Yeah, Cartel's going to bring out the war machine as well. Through the smoke, doesn't matter, just going to fire those pellets down. Just you can't finish things here regardless, but you want to keep this time out of Gallerus's grasp. Here we go. Raph on the other side. Look at the kills with the R9. How many LG players can you take down, Raph? Goodness me. A couple more. Pabzer on the other side, though, looking to get it done. Gallerus now still looking for this time, but neither team can finish it here.
Oh my goodness me. We are going to be coming into this final potential hill with the team separated by absolutely nothing. S-Dog's brought out the Sparrow, and that's going to give the onus over towards Luminosity Gaming. They are 12 seconds away. Gallerus, the only 13. In terms of operators, not a whole lot available. But let's go over towards Fountain, see how things go down.
Smoke's going down here. Both teams trying to use it to get in towards the hard point here. Who can get it done? Who's got the top side coverage for the help as well? It's LG in the kill feed. They want to finish it.
Let's see if Gallerus can find a way back through, because Luminosity have suddenly found the break. They are 5 seconds away from sending us to a map number 5. 2 seconds now for Luminosity. Gallerus trying to get themselves back in. Lukashin can find 2, but can he find any more? Luminosity still in control, but Lukashin, he's found a way through.
He's got the Annihilator. Lucasin gonna get cut down though. Cartels with the kill. Gallerus trying to hold on for their lives. Fokke with the kill. LG still looking for the 250th point.
Can he hold it down? Mihawk's all alone inside of the smoke, just trying to go back and forth between these two teams. Mihawk's still alive. Mihawk's still ongoing.
Ow.
240 or so broken. Luminosity get wiped out. The Sparrow's brought in. Gallerus can still win it here.
They can still get it done. LG, you've got to get in for the contestant. You've got to think about rotation as well. Gallerus looking for the kills to get the 250th point. Gallerus send LG home. North America is done. And Latin America goes marching on to Championship Sunday.
My goodness me. What a map. It's a 1-point game win for Gallerus. Luminosity, we're a breath away from sending us to a map number 5. What an end to this series. And what has been the best series of the day so far. My goodness me. It just felt like it was just utter chaos throughout that final hill. It was back and forth between us. I didn't know when it was going to end. You didn't know what was going to. Nobody did. It came down to some final moments that we're going to have to see again.
It's just constant. Gallerus just constantly got another play. I think it was Mihawk, right, who managed to get in towards the kill there towards the Ken to keep the game alive. I got to see that again. I got to see what kind of crazy plays we just saw. How on earth did that just happen?
I mean, I was hoping that we would get some sort of an insane hard point at some point. I didn't think it was going to be now between LG and Gallerus. That was incredible on behalf of Gallerus to be able to stop them at the 249 mark and then also have that comeback. That was incredibly disciplined play.
I mean, like, there's so much to think about in that moment, right?
Let's have a look, because Luminosity got themselves to that point from P1. Lukashin finds something, but it's such a contest-heavy hill. So to end it on this hill in particular is always just so chaotic. It's so hard to decipher which way really going to go for both the two teams and everybody at home. But it was just a case of trade for trade. But when Henry Cat finds those couple of kills with the Sparrow, that's the difference maker. How often did we talk about throughout the game the operator usage being the real big difference? And then the difference was made there towards the end. Those 2 from Henry Cat, you can find a 3rd with it as well. And what it means to those Gallerus players, their hard point, frankly, has sucked over this tournament so far. But for them to find 2 maps like that it truly puts them into the conversation. For a map like that as well, it gives you so much momentum heading into the semi-finals.
And I know we've been talking a lot about Gallerus on the whole, right? Everybody has been doing their part, not just today, but over the course of yesterday as well. I think now is the time to talk about Lucasin. 52 kills with over 90 seconds inside the hard point. This is why Lucasin is considered one of the best players in the world.
And you saw the reactions on behalf of the entire team right there at the end when they were able to clutch that up. You can tell just how much this means for the team, not only to get the win, but continue on in the competition. They're now officially going to be top 4 in the world. They've made their way through out of quarters into semifinals, live to see another day. They get to watch the rest of the competition and reassess how they're going to attack tomorrow. Now, you've said, everyone's been saying it a couple times, they started off potentially as an underdog. Every time we watch them play, they get a little bit better every single time, push themselves further into the conversation.
Yeah, honestly, I know we've been talking a lot about China as like the region to be feared, right? And I still think that's the case, right? Obviously, we've got Elevate versus Wolves. The winner of that matchup will be facing Gallerus tomorrow in the semi-final. Honestly, I would not be sure that either of those teams would take it versus Gallerus.
All right, well, I want to hear from the players, especially after a match like that. If I'm not mistaken, I believe we have Beef Mommy standing by with Lucas and Mihawk ready to chat.
I'm here with Gallerus, Mihawk, and also Lucasin. Let's start with you first, though, Lucasin. #1 player right now, especially for this tournament. You've been at the line of 50s this entire time when it comes to the kill count. How does it feel to finally be here and move on to the grand finals?
Como é que você se sente estando aqui finalmente, ganhando tudo que você fez? Como que você se sentiu durante todo esse jogo?
Olha, esse jogo foi sensacional. O que a gente foi da metade pro fim da partida foi insano. Nosso time foi absurdo e, cara, eu tô sem palavras até agora, não entendi muito bem o que aconteceu. Só que, graças a Deus, conseguimos sair com a vitória e, finalmente no top 4. Depois de tanto tempo, representar o Brasil desse jeito, com essa seleção absurda, é um sonho.
This was a great game. I'm still speechless. I didn't know what happened yet, but we're very proud of what happened, and we're very proud about all our team.
For sure, a really good representative for the Western side. But let me talk to a teammate that has been so integral in this hardpoint matchup. 1 point to send LG home. Mihawk, you stood there in Fountain, inside of the smoke, by the way, littered with LG squads, with operators up and running. How